A very good morning and welcome to the program. The Voice is coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Medina Azaki. Now, the National Health Commission has been in the news for the wrong reason for many years now, from corruption, from allegation to corruption, to mismanagement, and of course, to resignation of its chairman. This is the second time in 5 years that its chairman will resign. Today, we'll be looking at what exactly is the problem and the integrity of the commission, as well as the masses themselves whose money is being used to run the commission and whose money is being mismanaged. This and more when we'll come back after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. I'm being joined by a veteran broadcast journalist who has over 3 decades in the profession. He holds a PhD, in peace. He is a lecturer with, he holds a PhD in peace and conflict resolution. He's a lecturer with the Cosmopolitan University, Abuja. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and also fellow of Society for Peace Studies and Practice. And currently, serves as the vice president,
Society for Peace Studies.
Yes, so much around peace, and and while on NTA, he has been on Hajj. He has been covering Hajj activities. He was also a guest of the King twice, during that period. Dr. Muhammad Kudu Abubakar, many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so it's good to see people who have done this for over 3 decades back in the studio. I think I got some correction or masses to Nigeria. But anyway, I think our other guest is around, if I'm correct. But we'll take a break and we'll allow her in to stay with us. All right. So let me start with you, Doctor. Before we go into, the precedents of what happened and all of that, what is the true story? We did hear that he was forced to resign 2 days ago. DSS walked into his office and forced him to resign. Is that the true situation?
Well, in this kind of development, you will not use the word true situation.
I'm only asking, is that the true situation?
There are very many conjectures, many conspiracy theories. But what led to what may be what we will discuss. You rightly of the numerous cases of EFCC cases. In fact, to a point, he was going to EFCC almost every day. Rest cases. In fact, to a point, he was going to EFCC almost every day. Responding to queries and what have you. His own also got tired of that situation. And on the 19th,
confidence, we also heard that they were being given a $40,000, a $30,000, a $20,000 to pipe low.
you don't have...
Even these are allegations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't have evidence.
Yes.
They passed a vote of no confidence. It is in the media.
Again, in that vote of no confidence, we also heard that they were being given a $40,000, a $30,000, a $20,000 to pipe low.
You don't have...
Even these are allegations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't have the facts we have. They passed a vote of no confidence. It is in the media. That one has gone to the
It's
record.
established.
Exactly. So the presidency...
Okay, you are now towing my line. He was made an appeal. Doesn't it come with some kind of consequence if I say no?
It should.
And so that's where the force comes in.
No, but the force was not used.
Oh, the force was not used. Okay, whatever. He has resigned.
But they could use the force because they are the appointing authority.
So they can use force to send him out.
Yes.
But let me ask you, how embarrassing is it for a pilgrimage commission, a commission that is in charge with coordinating spirituality every year? How embarrassing is it that every now and then that commission is in the news for the wrong reason? Yesterday I was discussing with somebody. I said, poor people save their money. Poor Nigerians save this money over years, some 10 years, some 15 years, some maybe fat on this. And then these people who pay this money, they have been subjected to the worst treatment. I was in Hajj in 2013 and I saw, firsthand, how Nigerians are being treated, especially those who, contribute this money. Just how embarrassing is it?
I think the word embarrassing is even too lenient. It's more than embarrassing. It brought down the reputation of Nigeria as a country that takes care of its own, as a country that takes care of its citizens. More so when this is Nigeria, that from the in the sense that it brought Nigeria, and first northern Nigeria and then Nigeria at large, closer to Saudi authorities. We had excellent bilateral relations because of the way we were organizing our Hajj and we were organizing our citizens and we were making our citizens to contribute. We were organizing our citizens and we were making our citizens to contribute to the strengthening of trade and bilateral relations with Saudi Arabia. To the strengthening of trade and bilateral relations with Saudi Arabia. You remember in the 60s and even 70s.
I was not born then.
Exactly. Saddam, who was then the premier of northern Nigeria, was at the forefront.
Identity in Saudi Arabia, then all of a sudden went down the drain. I'll come and ask you what really happened along the line. But let me go to Kate. Kate, many thanks for joining us. I know when you saw the topic, you asked me this morning around 6 o'clock. You said you have something that you are familiar or you've been following, the trend. But let me ask you, your APC, they have a very terrible habit of forcing people to resign. Your party and your government in power. You did that to Ganduje. You did that to Baduru, even though he said we should not use the word force. But you make your officials to resign. Why?
So,
the dog before a court of...
you have to step aside
No,
so that
hold on. We don't even know if this man is corrupt because these are allegations. And some people said this whole thing is targeting the vice president in terms of crippling him financially because the vice president is the one who oversees. Okay. No, it's not broad, but he oversees Hajj Commission is under his. Hajj Commission is under his office directly.
For 2027. So yesterday I was having a political talk with someone and I told him in fact, he's a pastor. He's a pastor, not just these pastors that speaks for their pockets. He's a response. So he said, kids.
How can you be saying pastors speak for their pockets?
No, there are pastors that are speaking for their pockets. We know that. So this one is someone that is well-schooled, went to university, graduated with first class. So he has other things doing before the calling. So he made an analysis. He said, is it possible, these agitations that they are saying you people are going to change this vice president? Do you think it's possible? I said it is a 20/80. So if you said there is anything that is going to happen to the vice president, someone coming to change him, politically, I would tell you it's impossible. Already the northerner way, I'm a northerner. So the northerners are already feeling somehow that they are not being carried along in this government, which to some extent it may not be true. and it may be true. If you ask them, they may define it more, that we have brought a chunk into this movement, and then to some extent, we are not well represented, which they can define it. And then, so how do you drop a vice president that is coming from the north? So I want
you can replace him with another northerner.
No,
it's very easy to do that.
No, I want to disabuse people's mind that this is not something that, to me, will be possible. Because if there is an issue like this.
But you are very conversant with the office of the chairman, the APC. Are there talks of replacing the VP?
No. I don't think there's something like that at the pipeline.
Okay, yes. All right. So, Doctor, a commission that has done well over the years. So what happened? That we began to derail, and to the extent that we have now become an embarrassment. You said embarrassment, an unfortunate, commission. Now even from 90 to 50. So people who are very hopeful to go with their own money, now as if government is giving them 1 naira, today they can't go, because at the end of the day, there will be give and take of who to go and who not to go. The quota system will, push people out.
Well, just a point of correction. It used to be 95,000. It's now been reduced to 50,000, which is the quota for Nigeria. But to respond to your question, there are so many things.
Where do we begin to get it wrong?
Well, I think we began to get it wrong when maybe because of politics, because I will have to say it's politics. We refuse to look at merit to appoint some people to certain agencies. The case of the National Health Commission is a case in point. You remember, we used to have this Alhaji Mukhtar from Kaduna State,
yes,
who was chairman Kaduna Pilgrims Commission. He conducted Hajj for Kaduna State seamlessly. He came to the national body. He conducted Hajj for several years.
To professionally,
the extent the Saudi authorities even put him on some technical committees to advise them. So you can imagine from that level of competency, we now descended.
To the level of...
Well, so to the extent, what we are hearing recently, the Saudi minister is not even literate in spoken English. Yes, I don't know.
But competence doesn't have anything to do with your master of English.
Exactly, it doesn't. But when they send a memo to you in English, and you cannot...
You have a lot of aides that can help.
They will write whatever they want to write, and then they tell him to sign whatever he wants to sign. That's what we're told.
So that's where another problem is. If government was fully involved, maybe the issue of competence, the issue of integrity, wouldn't have been an issue.
No, my sister. It's you can't even bring that example. Do you know why? Remember, I mentioned that the presidency is the appointing authority. Let them go and put an entity as chief of army staff now. Will they do that?
No.
Exactly.
So why did they do that with Hajj?
When you ask them, they will tell you. I don't think I can speak for them.
So now it's not about...
Okay, I want to come back to you.
I want to disabuse your mind about the issue of the vice president you brought. So at least with his explanation now, it has nothing to do with someone targeting the vice president or 2027 election. APC had it against the vice president. Our house is intact. There's no problem.
No, of course, I expect tracers, and here we found ourselves. Is that the situation?
So yes, somehow, to some extent, I felt this issue of corruption, even with the 50%, how is it being managed? Have you checked? Have you seen? Have you followed up to see how that resources is also being managed? Because if we're going to a pilgrimage, I've seen a situation where
you went for a pilgrimage, so you can give us an example of what happened during your time.
I went to. Okay, that's where the corruption is. We're supposed to go to Israel. I think there was an issue. But because we needed to be out so that it can be justifiable, some people will be sent to Jordan. You get it? Somewhere in Jordan, somewhere in Israel. So if we're talking about corruption in Nigeria...
You mean some don't go to Israel at all?
I went to Jordan. I never went to Israel.
Then you didn't go for pilgrimage.
So what did you go for?
They told you it's so I don't know.
You went for holiday in Jordan?
No, I was being organized under the Pilgrim, Christian Pilgrim Board.
But what you did was holiday now.
No, there are some holy sites in Jordan.
Yeah, there are.
Yes, there are some holy sites in
I've
Jordan.
been there.
Yes, and I think why they made it that was that they check your age at the time you go. I'm entitled to. At the end of the day, I don't get it. The food, whoever is in charge, bring his people to go and cook there. And then they organize. That's another fat cow people are really feasting on. You know, so if you're talking about this corruption, it's a Nigerian attitude. I hope we can address it holistically. It's not an issue of whether it's a Hajj commission today. Be rest assured, tomorrow you'll be used. Yes.
Okay. So let's come back to the Nigerian government. When Arabi was made the chairman of, of the National Hajj Commission, and then the 90 billion, subsidy was given. I remember the chief of staff when the allegation too came that this money was squandered, the people who went for Hajj didn't benefit from the so-called subsidy. When in the midst of all of this, the chief of staff to the president, Mr. Femi Wajamiala, was in National Hajj Commission himself. To go and investigate according to the report, to see doesn't that also raise the question of integrity? Why would the chief of staff leave his office to come to Hajj Commission?
A hand in it because he may be the one to get his CV, do a background check, things like that before even the security agencies do their own. So exactly.
So the brother was yes. Yes. So because the brother is not appointed by the government.
Okay,
he appointed his brother.
You've been into this, you've covered Hajj activities over the years, over 2 decades and all of that. How does the Hajj Commission run? Because we know that it's after Hajj, they all go back. You don't hear anything from them.
No, you don't
except recently with this EFCC and all of that.
No, you do hear. Remember, the Hajj Commission, I don't know about the Pilgrims Commission, but the Nigeria Hajj Commission even has a weekly program on some channels of television, particularly NTA and several others I've seen. So for them to run a weekly program, it means there are activities. And a lot of the activities are enlightenment, educational, and advocacy. And I watch them. And there is a lot of knowledge being pushed out there for the would-be pilgrim. And even any pilgrim who has gone before, if he's going back, every year you get to learn new things. But remember, in Saudi Arabia, they have a whole ministry for Hajj and Umrah.
Yes.
And they have a whole university in Medina that every year investigates, studies, and come up with recommendations against next year. So you can imagine, they have made it a scientific thing. That's in Saudi Arabia. So which means we've got Nigeria and several other Muslim countries have a lot to learn from there. So which means, what that means is that the Hajj Commission can make every subsequent Hajj to be better than the previous one if they work with knowledge and
do we have to make it a ministry?
No, we don't have to.
Okay.
But research can be.
But every finding that has a lot of activities, has a lot of mobilization to do. Pilgrims from all the 36 states will be pilgrims who are coming. You do a lot of enlightenment, you do a lot of workshops for them. You find out that the whole stuff at the directorate level. Then the directors are the ones who will now be dealing with the board members and then the chairman of the commission. Of course, there is an enabling act that established it. There is a procedure.
Going there for, I think if the education is that strong, people don't need to go and run out of where they are supposed to be. Somebody cannot just use the spiritual aspect of him going to Israel to leave Israel for Europe, for a greener pasture, as they always put it. So just as he said, there should be more programs, more engagement, not be a thing of politics. Maybe if you can even leave it to the Muslim Ummah to submit 5 names, from it we'll pick. I think if we start from there, it will be better than we just bringing a random person and putting it politics. Maybe if you can even leave it to the Muslim Ummah to submit 5 names, from it we'll pick. I think if we start from there, it will be better than we just bringing a random person and putting it on people that know.
Leader, the #1 Muslim in Nigeria. If you take that to the Supreme Council of Islam,
Knows what they are doing.
okay. So let me
Yes.
take it from there. For those who have said, some people are make affairs, and you give them that mandate and say, look, give us 5 names. People have been agitating. You have the Sultan, who is the supreme, leader, the number 1 Muslim in Nigeria. If you take that to the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs and you pick one as a chairman, even the board members, because it's your affairs, it's not our own. So that way, because every year you have one emir submit these 5 names, then we can pick one as a chairman, even the board members, because it's your affairs, it's not our own. So that way, because every year you have one emir or the other leading the delegation, aside from, the chairman.
You are talking of being the Amirul Hajj.
The Amirul Hajj. Someone who kind of, the figure that people look up to. So if they can do that, why would they also be given the task to say, okay, submit names for board members, submit names for chairman, and then we can run, an integrity test on them. And so that, because if anything happens, you have a body to hold.
Yeah.
The issue is, all what you are saying now, no, not
Submitting names.
appointing,
Or
submitting.
submitting names, okay.
They forward names.
Okay.
That is how it exists. The Act establishing the National Hajj Commission has provided for certain agencies, like the Supreme Council, for example.
To make an input.
Exactly.
To the extent of appointing.
No, not
submitting names.
appointing, it's to appoint.
How damning and how troubling is it for them when they realize that the people who are supposed to organize them, who are supposed to, help them have a seamless, Hajj, a spirituality, they have been the ones who have been roped into one corruption and the other, and then they sit back and say, but it's our money. We go, we don't get the treatment that we get. No, let's be very frank. A lot of people suffer when they go.
You see, Medina,
for Hajj.
the issue
Is
of
it not
that,
so damning for the man who brings coughs out 8 million or 10 million?
yeah, the
And
issue,
then their money is quite high.
yeah, that issue is not just damning. It's if you like, very disappointing.
And demoralizing as
yes,
well.
and you know what? That the disappointment is not just at the level of an average Nigerian person.
Say, the services, this is disappointing services to see, and I cannot even concentrate on my spiritual journey. So will it fair to say that the government will pay for what, if I'm not able to conduct a successful Hajj because my attention is divided, I need a conducive place to put my head, I need this, I need that, and here I'm in the midst of all those problems. Should they be held responsible that my spiritual journey is not completed?
Well, you see, of course, you have to hold the government responsible. From the 1999 Constitution as amended, what did it say? They said the welfare and the protection of the citizens is the primary responsibility of government.
Now, I'm talking about my spirituality,
Hold
so
on.
not even the welfare now.
Welfare and protection
Okay.
under spirituality of that country. So everything that happens to you is under that country, isn't it?
Yes.
And that is why the first thing any foreigner does, any immigration foreigner does, the moment you have passport, you show passport. They check. If everything is correct, they tell you pass. They look at your visa, they look at things like that. So, and the government of a country that gives you that passport is saying that that person is under my care. And that care has been delegated to the Hajj Commission. And the Hajj Commission is failing. So if you delegate powers to a commission, the delegated power is also liable, isn't it?
It's like
So
it
that's
is.
it.
Which has already said 50%, and government has granted them 50%. Is that what we should also be advocating for at this time, to reduce this, too much money? Because when people see too much money, whatever happens, happens. Should we also be advocating, even though you said even the 50%, we need to go and check if it is properly?
No, at least the
But
price.
should we also advocate for a 50% rather than have some subsidy that will disappear with?
People, if you are meant to pay 8 million naira, you pay 4 million. At least you feel okay that, whatever happens, I paid 4 million. So if I can get 2 million out of the 4 million they are supposed to put, it's very okay. Because I know the Christian pilgrim, you don't pay even up to that 4 million naira.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't stay long.
Okay, yes,
To the
you-
Christian pilgrim,
Yes, you don't
stay long the way you stay long
in Saudi Arabia.
Maybe what we may need to look at, Hajj Commission may need to look at, is to see, one, reduce the number of weeks that pilgrims will stay in Saudi Arabia. Two, reduce the number of activities. Because you see, the real Hajj itself is from the 8th of Zulhijjah to the 10th. Isn't it? So maybe it could be because of logistics, flights, and things like that. If not, we could do it in such a way that we wait until the first month, the first day of Zulhijjah, so that people make sure they are in Saudi Arabia or they are in Medina or Mecca on the first day, so that you have just first, second, third, fourth to do all other activities. Then you now put on your ihram on the 8th, 9th you do Arafat, the next day is Sunday. Then you begin to come back 3 days after, because your pilgrims are supposed to stay in Monaco. I give you this, you give me this, so that we complement each other. And now we reap the business, or we reap the profit, and we share.
Okay.
That's partnership.
Okay.
What we are having with private carriers
is you pay, give me cut.
Well, you are saying that.
It's sometimes 50, 60.
Yeah, exactly.
40, 60.
Exactly. So
I'm giving you this amount. You're returning back.
You find out that both the commission and the carrier will benefit.
Exactly. And then this whole cost will reduce.
Yeah.
And then you talked about research. Saudi has a research institution. They should also begin to bring out a research that talks about how do they conduct Hajj seamlessly, because the world changes every day. The Hajj of 2025 will be different from the Hajj of 2026. So much innovation comes in. So why is it so difficult to have a research institute, especially those who have retired? You bring in people from different part of the country, and then every year we have this book to say this is our guideline for this year.
Exactly. I think
that will be fine.
First, we start with having competent people to be appointed, and these people will now work on the knowledge that is already there and develop other knowledge for the future.
For people who will say corruption is in our DNA, when you ask people, they say corruption is in the DNA of the Nigerian. Even when you say the person is competent, he has integrity, only for you to put the person in that office, and then the story changes, and then you begin to wonder.
By having the standard, by having
yes.
Now you said China just did something.
Yeah, when the issue of China that I brought, they also have corruption, but they know how to deal with it.
The capital punishment.
Yes.
So are you guys suggesting that?
We just said the Bilal Arabis has been with EFCC. Have you seen the report?
No.
Do you know they find it? No. Exactly. So
at the end of the day, you see him contesting even an election.
If he's found wanted, and then it will become a lesson for others.
And this one would probably...
It's not even the corruption. The problem is the people. Because if somebody is...
itself?
Yes, and then the issue of... this is my own. He cannot be humiliated. Let's just do this to cover it. The sentimental attachment we always attach to most of these corrupt people. And I felt this is a thief, yes, but then give it to me. It's my own.
In just 30 seconds, the stakeholders themselves, the ulama, the clerics, beyond, some of them also having Hajj agencies. I've seen most of them having, agencies, travel agencies. Beyond that, how much of a contribution do they make to, running of that Hajj commission to a standard that is acceptable? Do they take advice from them? Do they make any meaningful
I just told you that the Hajj commission has a weekly program on radio and on television. I've seen most of these Islamic clerics contributing to the knowledge base of that. Where the problem is in the issue of management of finances, then management of logistics, and then management of the entire reputation of the commission, and to the large extent the country itself.
But even the clerics who have travel agencies, their own charges are very expensive. Sometimes you wonder, you ask.
If they have travel agencies, it means they are businessmen, and there's nothing wrong with being in business. But the issue is, how do you do the business? Are you doing it ethically? If you are not, then the question of you being a cleric is questionable.
Maybe we have not even gone into how they also conduct their own Hajj with the kind of people they go with. Maybe that's an issue for another day. But gentleman, lady, we have to wrap it up here. Dr. Muhammad Kudu Abubakar, veteran broadcast journalist, and also a peace and resolution consultant right now, and a lecturer.
Conflict resolution.
So he's a consultant on that already, aside from being a lecturer. Yes, many thanks for your
lecture
time.
in international relations.
Okay, so many thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And Kate, thank you very much for bringing your own experience. So you didn't go for pilgrimage. What did you went for holiday?
No, I went.
You went to Jordan and you came back. So maybe you
she
go
went
back
to Jordan as a tourist.
No, there are only sites there.
All right, and that's the show. See you tomorrow bright and early. From me, Medina Azaki, and the whole team. It's bye for now.